Hi guys, Mayflom here, and today I'm going to make a simple little shaker. This is going to be a lot of fun. So for a project like mine, what you're going to want, there's a couple things that you're going to need. You're going to need a frame of some kind. Now this is a little piece I picked up at the craft store that has a little print already in it. If you don't have a print all ready to go, all you would need to do is just make your own. So you could do your own stamped print or some other sort of print, or you could also put a picture in there. I like the idea of a print because I feel like it'll just turn out better, I think. So what I'm going to do, I only have the size acetate I have is not quite big enough for this, but it's still going to work, and I'll show you why. What I'm going to do, what I've already done, I already cut one piece to size, and then I'm just going to take the other piece and do the same. So this would work for any size picture frame. All you would really need is you need a picture frame that's going to have some kind of a ridge around that side and that you'll have a little depth. You'll also want some glue. You'll also want some sequins, some buttons, something like that. I'm playing around with a couple of my new 28 Lilac Lane mixes, and what I'm going to do is put some sequins in here. Give those a shake. Oh, there's some beads in there too. Those are so cute. And then I will put a few of these sequins in. And I always forget when these are brand new, they have tape on them, obviously, to keep them sealed. And I always get frustrated trying to open these up. No, May, you just haven't taken the stuff off yet. And I'll throw, aren't those fun? Those little guys. I'll just dig around in here just a bit. Get a few more sequins going, a few stars. You can mix and match your sequins, guys. You can do as much or as little as you like. Now, I think that that's going to be plenty because I don't want it to totally cover. And then what I'm going to do is I have PPA here. I'm going to run it along this edge. This is kind of a flat raised edge. It's what caught my attention. Not only the price, these were really inexpensive, but not just the price, but also the fact that they had that nice little flat edge. And originally, and I am working on another one, so you could just do like I've shown you before, and I'll definitely show you again, where you can just line it with sequins, buttons, and things, and that's a lot of fun. But if you want to get a little fancy, you want to do a little something different, you could do this too. So what I'm going to do is I'm laying it down, and I'm just making sure that it touches all of the edges. I'm not anticipating trouble. I'm really not. I don't think that there's going to be any problem. I do want to make sure though, now that I have this one down, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive along the top. Just not a lot, just a little, just to make sure that this is going to cover. Now you could use double-sided tape if you prefer. I'm just looking at this and then sliding it up. So here's what's going to happen. I had to overlap because I didn't have, and I'm just going to slide that up a little bit. There we go. So there is going to be, not funky exactly, but there is a little spot where you're going to see a little bit of a line. That's not going to bother me. If it's going to bother you, then you would just need to get a piece of acetate big enough. The reason I didn't go that route is because this particular acetate, I really like how it's formed. It's nice and thick, it's not weak, and I think that it's going to look really, really good when it's done. So I feel like it's going to be worth having it done that way. Then what I'm going to do is just pick out some buttons, and a couple of the buttons I will definitely put on the bigger side around the areas where there are those spots, just to kind of cover a little bit of it, you know, distract a little bit. And I'm also going to just a little bit here, put a little glue a little more inside, and I got a little bit on here. Not going to worry about it. If you were a very smart crafter, you would want to wait until all of this is dry before you start messing around with adding things. And I say that because if you wait until it's totally dry, it's going to be a lot easier to work with, but it's also going to lessen your chance of messing up. The only thing we absolutely cannot do is pick up or move anything until this is completely dry, because we don't want any of those sequins on the inside to interact with wet glue and get stuck. Okay, so I'm just going to start adding little bits and pieces here, and I'll pull these out. I'm actually just going to use this little lid here, just a couple of those. And I'm just going to start going around with these various sequins and buttons and things. I've got some white or some cream buttons over here if I need those. And I'm just going to place, I sometimes will start biggest to smallest. In something like this, I'm not going to super worry about that. I just don't think it's going to be a big deal. So in something like this, I'll just look at, you know, what do I have? What do I like? What do I think works well? And repeat, repeat, repeat with some various elements. Once you feel like it's as full as you want it, and guys, I had a bit of a sequin spill here. So when that happens, what I try to do is exactly what I'm doing right here. I just pick up the beads and sequins off the desk with some tweezers and apply as many of them as I can to the current project. Anyhow, when you feel like you're all done, you're just gonna wanna leave it alone and let it dry. If you end up with any funny little spots, you can go back in with more sequins, more little details, or you can always grab something like some glitter glue and give it a little squeeze, fill in here and there. Glitter glue is great for this. This happens to be Mercury Glass Stickles, but other brands work as well. But anyhow, it works great because you can fill as much or as little as you need in the given space. So you don't have to, you're not working with any set size, you're just going around and looking at the sizes that you do have. And it adds a little bit of sparkle as well, which I always think is fun. I hope you've liked this tutorial, and for even more details, photos, etc., remember to head on over to my blog if you're watching this on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, requests, anything at all, you know I always love hearing from you, so feel free to leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.